Good morning, students. Today in SST we will go through chapter 1 to 3 detailed question answers. This is your revision test. We have given you short question answer revision test yesterday. Today you will give chapter 1 to 3, then afterwards 4 and 5 I will take. Okay. So we will go through the question answers again. And in the copy correction, many students had not come of 5C, then 5B and 5F. Only some few students had come. So why don't you come and have the copy correction done? And you don't complete your work also. Many students have not completed the work also. The diagram was not done or question answers were incomplete. So you complete your work and then show it to me, okay? And detailed question answers I will give you in the group questions, and you will write only the answers in the rough copy. Don't ask again and again. You will have to write the answers in the rough copy and show it to me, okay? So I will go through the questions of detail once again. 1, 2 and 3 chapters. 4 and 5 we will do it tomorrow. So let's get started. So students, this is the first chapter detailed question answers. What are continents? Name the 7 continents of the world in the decreasing order of their size. So you have to write the continent's name and what is continents. Large land masses are called continents. Okay, the land area is called the continent on the earth, and the 7 continents of the world in the decreasing order of their size are Asia is large, then Africa, then North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and the smallest one is the Australia. Then describe some features of Antarctica. Some features of Antarctica are: it is called the white continent, it is the 5th largest continent, it is the coldest, driest and the windiest continent. Means it is very cold over there, and it is completely surrounded by the Southern Ocean. So 4 points are there here. Then we come to the third one. Write 3 sentences about the Indian Ocean. So the Indian Ocean is the 3rd largest ocean, covering 20% of the Earth's water surface, and it is connected to the Mediterranean Sea by the Suez Canal. It is connected to it, and it provides major sea routes to the world. Means all the other sea routes it's provided to the world, the Indian Ocean. Write a short note on the Southern Ocean. Then the Southern Ocean is also known as the Antarctic Ocean, and it lies in the southern hemisphere. That is why it is called Southern Ocean. It encircles Antarctica and gets water through the merger of the Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Ocean into it. Means 3 oceans are merged into this Antarctica and they get water from it. Okay. Then we come to the second chapter detailed question answers. This one. How do we find the location of a place on Earth? So any point on Earth can be located by specifying its latitude and longitude. Means if we know the latitude and longitude of that area, then we can point out the location. These lines intersect each other, forming a network called grid. So they intersect each other, they cross each other. These lines provides us a location coordinate which help us in locating a place on the globe. Who proved that the earth is spherical in shape and how? Now many scholars believed that the earth was spherical in shape. First they thought that earth was spherical in shape. Then in the 16th century, a Portuguese explorer, Ferdinand Manglais, set on an expedition. He went on an expedition and he died on the way, and the voyage was completed by his second in command, Juan Sebastian Elcano. So he proved by his circumnavigation that the earth was spherical in shape. From where you start, you come to that end. Then differentiate between longitude and latitude. So the imaginary line that run vertically from north to south are all around the globe are called the lines of longitude or meridian, and the imaginary lines circle around the earth from east to west and parallel to the equator are called the lines of latitude. Then write a short note. No, this is the detail one we have done. Then we come to chapter 3, detail question answer. Explain the reason for the occurrence of seasons as different times of the year. So the two solstices occur whenever the tilt of the earth axis is oriented directly towards or away from the sun. It is towards the sun or it is away from the sun. So this causes the hemisphere to point directly towards or away from the sun. This brings a change in season. If it is away from the sun, the season will be changed, and if it is directly towards the sun, the season will change again. Then question 2, what is rotation? Draw a diagram of Earth's rotation. So diagram I have already given you to draw. The movement of the Earth on its axis is called rotation, and the Earth rotates from west to east. The Earth's axis is tilted at an angle of 66.5 degrees. The Earth takes about 24 hours or 1 day to complete one rotation. So this is the diagram. This diagram I had told you to rotation of Earth, night, day, sunlight. But that I had already given you in the diagram. Then what is the significance of the Earth's revolution? The revolution of the Earth on its axis is important in setting up the season. The Earth revolves on the sun, so it experiences season. The Earth's revolution around the sun is the change of season. The season on Earth are affected by following factors: the angle of the sun's rays and the length of the day. Means the angle where the sun rays is going on and how much length the day has. Then fourth is this. Write a short note on winter solstice. During the month of January, February and March, the northern hemisphere gets indirect rays of the sun. Indirect rays means that it is not direct over there. Due to the tilt of the earth, this makes the night longer and days shorter in the northern hemisphere, because it is winter time, so the night becomes longer and days shorter. Hence the northern hemisphere experiences winter. The shortest night occur on 21st December. It is called the winter solstice. And define equinox. What is equinox? The term equinox means equal day and night. In March and September, the sun's rays fall vertically on the equator. Both the North Pole and the South Pole are at an equal distance from the sun. North Pole also and South Pole also are equal distance from the sun. Thus, days and nights are of equal length everywhere on the earth. So, which is this? 21st March is the spring equinox, while 23 March to September is the autumnal equinox. Okay, equinox means equal day and equal nights. So, students, you have detailed question answers I have given, and I will give from these questions, and you will write the answers. Thank you.